and welcome to Tokenverse podcast series, where we interview the most inspiring minds to discuss the potential and the future of Web3 technologies in the most disruptive fields, including the world of arts, gaming, governance, and economy. As in the words of the creator of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, now is the time to build on blockchain beyond decentralized finance. We are here to lead you through this paradigm shift by exploring the most groundbreaking trends and cutting-edge solutions. This production is brought to you by DoinGud, an NFT ecosystem focused on inspiring creativity and positive social impact for the world. So this episode is going to be with Digital Pratik, who is the founder and creator of Jorr Parivar, which is an NFT project. And what you need to know about Digital Pratik, that he is a digital marketing guru, and he's quite often called the Indian Gary Vee. But before we connect to Digital Pratik, I would like to introduce Gaurang Desai, who is a social media manager at DoinGud. He's been working in marketing for over 7 years, and he's been in the crypto space for 2 years. Hello, Gaurang. How are you doing? Where are you broadcasting from? Where are you now?
Hello, Ania. I'm from India. I'm currently speaking from India. Right. Yeah.
Great. And so I know that actually Digital Pratik is a long time connection of yours. So can you tell me, please, like, how did you meet him? In what circumstances?
So yeah, basically during my journey of being a marketer, right, 3 years back, I came across him. I was rolling him out over Instagram and understanding things of what kind of content he has been producing, and have been learning from him a lot. Right. Then I decided to take a mentorship from him in terms of, where I can grow myself and understand more about digital marketing and personal branding. And that's where I became his student, right?
Yeah.
3 years ago, right?
and you introduced him to NFTs, right?
Yeah.
So why did you do that?
So basically, the journey was like, a few months back. Again, I was working. I got full time into crypto, and I was not in touch with him. Then one day I saw his WhatsApp story talking about NFTs, and then I thought, it's the right time to connect with him and tell more about what NFTs are and crypto spaces are. Right. And that's where I just messaged him, and then the very next moment he called me and said, Gaurang, let's start understanding this, and I want to deep dive into this. And that's how we got started.
Fantastic. And can you tell me what is it that makes Digital Pratik an Indian Gary Vee?
Yeah, basically the way what I see, and the thing he believes is always about learn, apply, and share. Right, this his core mantra of doing things, and also he's like a 100% practitioner, right, and more towards documenting his life journey, and and that's where he has been. Like, if you see Gary Vee, and if you see Digital Pratik, you would find a lot of similarities in terms of educating people with various things, building personal brand, and whatnot.
Fantastic. I think there is, like, apart from doing his NFT project, he's a very fascinating person because he's a successful online marketer, but also his path to success is quite amazing, because I think he's the university dropout, and I think he even work in a call center. So I'm like you also drop out from university, Gaurang, from what I know.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to this conversation. So perhaps we're ready to connect to Digital Pratik.
Yes, let's get connected to him. Yeah.
Hi, hello, Digital Pratik. How are you today?
I'm doing amazingly awesome.
Amazingly awesome. That's what we want to hear. And can you tell me what's the highlight of this week for you?
The highlight for myself in this week is I'm starting a travel show, which would be indirectly related with my NFT project. I've got a couple of mugs. I've got my sippers, and yeah, a lot of things.
Wow.
I've got my studio setup actually set and ready within this week itself. So a lot of things are happening during this week, and I'm super excited.
Well, I mean, for sure, we want to hear more about your traveling project. But first, let's dive into the most important thing of this podcast, which is your NFT project, and also it leads us to the fact that you were introduced to NFTs by Gaurang. Is that true, to Gaurang? We just talked about it. So, so can you tell us what was your reaction? Were you skeptical about it, or you were like immediately, oh, fantastic, that's something I could use?
Yeah, so it's a mix of a lot of things when me and Gaurang are dealing with this DeFi world, I would say, not just NFT. So all it started when I saw VeeFriends information from Gary Vee all the time from March and April before he launched it in May. And that's where I was fantasized with this word NFT, because he was talking a lot about that. And I have been a big follower of Gary Vee since past couple of years. And me and Gaurang, we have been knowing each other since quite a lot of time now. And I somehow came to know that he's into crypto because I just had a call randomly with Gaurang and he told me, so I'm already in crypto since past couple of years. I've been working in this space. And I'm like, okay, fine, be my consultant, teach me, I'm open to learning something new. And that's when he told me that, hey, this is a word, DeFi, decentralized finance, start learning about that. He gave me a couple of ebooks. So I started consuming that in my side hustle. So I treated that particular learning as my side hustle project for my own self and upgrading myself. And I started learning that. Meanwhile, in May, VeeFriends was launched. And that's where we were super, super heavy with that NFT term. And that is where we decided that, yes, we have to play this game in Indian context for sure.
And can you explain us what Jorr Parivar actually is?
So it's a combination of two terms, I would say. It's Jorr and Parivar. So Parivar basically in English means family. It's a Hindi or a Gujarati term as well, which is Parivar, it's family. And Jorr is just a kind of an emotion. Like when you say, when you ask me, how are you doing? I'm like, amazing. I could have said awesome. I could have said good. I could have said great. So all these are kind of describing my emotion in the moment. And that's what Jorr is, like awesome. So it's like awesome family, great family, a community, thriving community. So all in all, that's a word which is not in dictionary actually with double R, Jorr. It's not at all a word in existence. It's just we can call it as a prefix to a word, which is where Jorr Parivar stands.
And what is
Yeah.
Go on, Gaurang, you wanted to ask something.
Yeah.
Sorry, I cut you.
Yeah. Sure, Pratik. That's been I understand. We have been gone through the whole journey and all, right? But what is that one thing which drives you, in terms of building Jorr Parivar? Like, what has been that one X factor you can say where you were super pumped in terms of moving it up?
It's my nature. It's my nature to do something. And one of the characters, luckily, which I have over here is caring, daring nature. All right. And being a practitioner. So I'm always up for trying something new. And that's what I've done in the past 11 years from me being a dropout. Like when I took a drop, it was completely against my society in Indian culture, especially in my religion. I took that bet. Yes, I did it. 10 long years. I took that bet. I did it. I took 8 years of full-time job along with which I built my side hustle. Then fully jumping into Digital Pratik. So I've always been like a practitioner, kind of an early adopter of things since Alexa skills as well. Since 2017, I always wanted to test new things. And this is where this project where nobody's talking about it in India. Everybody's hearing it from Gary Vee or big shot people like Mark Cuban, NFT page, and all these Discord servers, which are US based. And I'm like, okay, fine. Nobody's talking about it in India. In India, everybody's talking about how to buy Bitcoin, how to buy Ethereum. And they're all talking about Indian exchanges, crypto exchanges. Why not everybody is talking about NFT? And that's where I started interacting with a couple of people. They made jokes of me in fun way because they were close buddies of me. And they're like, no. In India, nahi chalega. I mean, in India, they always used to say it in Hindi that it won't work. Let's just wait for 6 or 7 months. Let big shot people do it. And I'm like, okay, fine. Why not we? That's where like that fire to do something new and take that chance, take that bet on my own self, and then being an early adopter so that I can enjoy the wins or I can learn something crucial from my loss. So that burning desire within me with respect to everything probably got me into NFT, and that's where India's first ever community-driven NFT project around 22 intellectual properties was born.
So was it difficult to explain this project to people, your audience and people in India? How did you explain it to them?
Luckily, it's a mix of yes and no both. I would say no, it was not difficult for me because I am playing personal branding games since past couple of years where I have built a community based on the value, not just based on selling courses, which usually people do. So I have been putting out free content since past couple of years now, and that too on volume of content. And probably that's the reason why maybe 0.00001% of Indian audience also terms and respects me with Indian Gary Vee term. So they had known me for a couple of years now with respect to free content, with respect to paid coaching programs, consulting programs. So I had a small little community that yes, it is possible. And beyond that as well, in the month of June, what I did was I launched my first ever e-commerce portal for clothing line. And what I did was I had an offer. I psychologically was hitting people for my next NFT project in 2-3 months. And I was preparing their minds that this is how, this was the offer. Buy 2 t-shirts, get 30 days Zoom Q&A session with Digital Pratik. And that's exactly what I sold to 100 customers. And then I closed the door because I only wanted 100 people to understand 30 days journey with me and eventually leading them to Jorr Parivar, because I was already side by side building this project with Gaurang and a lot of other people like for smart contracts and things. So I was in real time explaining that what we are going through. And that's where out of those 100 people, 30 or 50 token holders were for sure there with me. So that's the reason why I said, no, it was not difficult. Yes, it is still difficult. That's where I would say yes, that in Indian audience, still people are not understanding. I wouldn't say not in India, in globally, 96% of the people right now, Ania, are thinking that it's just JPEG. It's just another picture. Every week, 2 or 3 messages are like this in my Instagram DMs that, hey, why should we buy this picture when we can get this a cute little dog in the picture for 100 rupees in an Archie's gallery? Why should we spend 0.25 Ethereum for a silver token of Jorr Parivar? And that's where the difficulties will go because we are too early in the stages. And yeah, it's a combo of yes and no.
I think that's a genius marketing move, what you did, because basically instead of kind of telling people like, here is the NFT, here's my thing, buy it. You kind of had a bait for them. You kind of lured them by something else, right?
Yep.
And maybe so many other artists and creators should do the same, not just kind of like put the NFT, which is sometimes quite scary, in people's face, but just kind of attract them with something else.
And that's where, Ania, I always also when I launched my e-commerce portal at that point in time for a very short duration of time, I also told people that, hey, if you're into e-commerce, thinking of clothing line or any kind of e-commerce business, this is how you can also do if you have knowledge about something else. Like literally, I don't have knowledge about clothing line. What I have is knowledge about digital branding strategies or personal branding because I've been practicing in that field. So what I layered, I call this as a layering mechanism or a layering strategy. You are selling something, but on layer of that, on top of that, you are actually providing something which is so much 10x times more valuable than the actual product that literally, I swear on my parents, this is what happened during those 30 days. Within like 20 days, people forgot that they had actually purchased 2 t-shirts. They literally had forgot because the value which they got inside these 30 days Zoom Q&A was way much more than what they're going to actually get in physical t-shirts. And on top of that, when I actually delivered them, I actually sent 1 more t-shirt absolutely for free to everyone.
Wow, nice, very good.
Got it. It's more towards bringing value to people is what I see, right? Yeah. But Pratik, like, what is the secret sauce in terms of, the way you market it, the way you have done, whatever you have done for Jorr Parivar, right? In terms of, making sure that, your audience get educated in terms of from basic Ethereum blockchain to MetaMask to NFTs to whatnot. Like, how did you do it?
The secret is, the secret is there is no secret. It's all hard work because what I felt was when I got in touch with Gaurang and when I still remember, Ania, this is what happened. When I, for the first ever time, was opening up a MetaMask account and was transacting in the form of Ethereum, I was asking 5 times to Gaurang over a Zoom call in the middle of the night that, hey, Gaurang, are you sure I should click on this button? Are you sure I should click on this? But that kind of fear I had in my head, in my heart, that even though I had this kind of experience, I am having this fear. And that's exactly what is there in my heart and my mind when I'm actually trying to educate my audience. I'm completely understanding that there would be people who would 1000 times ask me that why should I do NFTs? Why should I buy Jorr Parivar NFTs? And I have to be ready to tell them 10,000 times that yes, this is what is NFT and this is why you should buy Jorr Parivar or any kind of NFTs, because you have to compulsorily educate people. You have to build trust. And that's where, like, in my last 10, 11 years, if I'm able to build trust now over a decade with respect to what Digital Pratik is saying and people buying my clothing line because they are getting 30 days Zoom Q&A, this is exactly what is the pattern. I'm understanding that right now NFT is new, so they won't trust Digital Pratik as well that much early. And the second note, I'm also thinking that if Gary Vee took 1.5 months or close to 1 month to sell out VeeFriends, even though he was Gary Vee, just imagine what will happen for people like us when we are launching a community-driven NFT project. It is going to be difficult. We have to educate people a lot. And that's where we have to go from the basics, like what is NFT? And that's where one of the other thoughts, which I also got from 2016, I would say, is when I was a senior digital marketing trainer for one of the digital marketing institutes in India. At that point in time, in 2016, Ania and Gaurang as well, Gaurang might not be knowing this, one of the guys, I was training professionals who used to be social media managers or CEOs of the companies, founder of the company. There were like 100 people in the batch. Now, out of them, one of the guys, when there was a lesson of Facebook marketing, what he asked was, hey, Pratik, how to open up a Facebook account? Everybody laughed at him. Everybody. And I'm like, why the hell are you laughing? It's okay. It's perfectly all right. Probably he's the founder of the company. That's the reason why he has never cared about opening up a Facebook account. He may not be a socialized person. He may be very, very like of the world, and he might be happy in his life. So this perception, which I always have throughout my 10, 11 years in meeting new people, actually is probably the motivation or inspiration or that burning desire or the secret sausage to me actually trying to educate people with respect to NFTs in India and globally soon as well.
It's fascinating that I feel that you assume that fear is the kind of the biggest emotion people have when they hear about NFTs. And I think, very rightly so, because people who already are in NFT space, they think that people who are driven by mostly curiosity, but that's not the case, as you just explained. But coming back to your project, this is it. Like you called Indian Gary Vee. Are you pleased about that?
Yes and no, both. Yes, because it's a respect, and in Hindi we call it as Guru Dakshina. So this is my invisible Guru Dakshina, a payback, a give back to my virtual mentor who I've never met, I've never interacted. So I feel that it's kind of a payback on day-to-day basis when I increase his presence through my name. So because of that, yes, for sure, I'm infinitely loved and grateful for that particular term. And no, because somewhere down the line, subconsciously, I feel that people are now like, this is very, I mean, uncomfortable for me to say right at this moment, but I'm getting DMs like this as well, that hey, a Pratik bhai or a bro, I really want to be like you. I really want to be the next Digital Pratik and things like that. And that point in time, I feel I'm literally replying this, that hey, please don't be Digital Pratik. You are so unique. You be you. And there is a pattern in India right now that people are adding digital against their usernames. Why? Because some Digital Pratik got successful, So yes, I'm super duper happy for 99% of the times, but 1% at times I have this fear for the coming generation, the youngsters who might go into the wrong track. So that's the reason why I'm putting out so much of content with all the authenticity that, hey, just be you, no matter what the usernames is. Name is not important. Just look at Amazon, Facebook, WhatsApp. What are these names? Like if I would have met Ania 20 years ago, I would have said, hey, what's up? SSUP, what's up? And now probably if we meet, I would say, hey, what's up me? The languages have changed in the way we are interacting. So name has nothing to do with what you'll do, because what you'll do behind the name is what matters. So yeah, it's 99:1.
Right. But so as that's very, very wise words, what you just said. I was wondering, like you are yourself, and then also being compared to Gary Vee, project gets compared to Gary Vee's project. So let's talk about like how is your project different to Gary Vee's project?
100%. So it's like almost different. The only thing which the two things which are probably similar are, number one, the way I have drawn, because I got that idea, but then I'm seeing it not as a similar thing. I'm seeing that to be Instagram story coming out because Snapchat got successful in vertical stories. So all I'm trying to do is, because Gary Vee has drawn, now it's my capability. Am I able to draw all these characters? If yes, and within 24 hours, then I am fucking talented. It's not that because Gary Vee did, I am able to do it. If I'm able to do and draw and all these things, I'm asking every Indian to actually do it. Go do it. Go draw 22 intellectual properties first in the drawings, and then figure that how you can license these intellectual properties under your name, trademark them. You'll realize there are lakhs of rupees, hundreds and thousands of dollars to be invested in actually putting up that. So that's number one, probably that might be similar, which people are thinking, but it is actually not, which is why I explained this. Number two, why people might have resonated this is because of the conference and because of the way the tokens have been tokenized on NFT project. Because I have drawn, a lot of people thought that they are similar to these projects because there is this JP conference, which is Jorr Parivar conference. Now, again, I'm telling Jorr Parivar conference, a conference, if Ania, you are a professional, you know how much money is invested to throw a conference. It's like if somebody is doing, you cannot do it. You know, it's like your talent, your effort in bringing people. I'll have to pay influencers who will be coming, the arrangement, the event organization. So maybe because of that, it's probably people are thinking similar. Let's talk about the differentiation. I have completely divided my entire project, 1,254 tokens, into 3 different levels. One is bronze, second is silver, third is gold. And within them, I have actually put out with respect to Indian context. In India, people want education more and more. It's not like I am a very big short influencer. No, I'm nobody. I'm just 1% of what I actually want to achieve in my life. So I'm nobody. So I cannot say that, hey, just have dinner with me. Hey, let's play football with me. Hey, let's play cricket with me and you will pay me token. People in India are afraid to pay 500 rupees, which is close to what, $7 or $10, okay, for a course. And I cannot ask 0.05 Ethereum straight away, which might be ending up $200, you know, for a token, which is not even in existence, which people don't understand. So the differentiation is in the way I have given access. For bronze, people get monthly exclusive trainings, workshops. Maybe if this was happening 1 month later, I might have done this particular one as live session inside our Discord server, which might have been exclusive for my community token holders only, which are bronze. So those kind of access education is exclusive to bronze level. Silver is getting monthly live Q&A sessions, because any which ways I have a consulting agency where I charge lakhs of rupees for my consultation, for my digital branding strategies for brands and clients. That is exactly what I'm giving every month, 1 hour, to all those token holders who are holding silver token. And for the gold, it is all about having dinner meets and business meeting, which are experiences. I will just take them to surprises and a lot of other things. So these are the 3 different levels which I have done, which is not actually there inside VeeFriends. Probably 1 or 2 might be similar, like conference and the dinner meets. But again, I'm telling, it's not that just somebody has done, you are doing, so it's copy. You do it, try to do it. It's lakhs of rupees. Gaurang knows, like I have closely invested $50,000 as of now in building Jorr Parivar project. You know,
50 or 50,000.
50,000.
50,000.
Because I myself minted 1,254 tokens. I didn't ask people to mint it. So I upfront paid the gas fee. I was willing to go beyond that. I was willing to make this process simpler for an Indian context, because in India, people are still not aware. Right? I didn't want people to take that burden that, hey, you have to open up the MetaMask, you have to do this, you have to go and come to my website and then click on this. You don't have to pay money, you have to just pay gas fee. People would be clueless about that. Instead, what I did was I upfrontly invested my money.
And that's one of the main differences between you and the Gary Vee,
yes.
right?
Yes.
So would you like it that at some point they're going to call Gary Vee an Indian Digital Pratik? How would you react to that?
Number one, it will never happen. Number two, when that happens, if in case by God's grace, that would probably one of the biggest wins in my entire digital career. And I would really, 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 really want to be with Gary Vee when that happens. And I literally, while you were saying this, I already have this in mind that whenever I will meet Gary Vee, due to any reason, it would be based on my work only. But whenever I'll meet, I will pay my greetings. And in my Indian style, I will do headstand and I'll do namaste to him in the inverted form, because like everybody does namaste like this. I really want to go beyond outside the box, because that's the man whom we look for. He always does out of the box thinking. So I just literally want to pay him greetings and namaste in the inverted form on headstand. So yeah, if what you said is happening, by God's grace, I'll take this moment with me. Probably if it happens, I would love to have to live this moment with him in the studio or somewhere.
So we don't know if this is going to happen, but we know that for sure you're going to meet him in person at some point, right?
There is a story, Ania. I don't know if, how much closely you have followed Gary Vee, but there was this collector edition top shots cards. If you remember, 2019, he launched a baseball cards collection, which were yellow color edition. And I bought 5 boxes of that. I got a yellow card access in which I could have easily called Team Gary Vee, and I had access of Gary Vee. I messaged Sid as well, his brand manager at that point in time. I messaged him that, hey, Sid, do you think that I should literally come to Gary Vee and meet him in person? Because honestly, I had that doubt that what will I do by meeting Gary Vee right now? All Gary Vee would say, hey, do this, do this, do this, which any which ways I'm doing by watching his content. Because what he says is, watch my content. But when he says watch my content, he doesn't mean that just consume and go to bed. What he says is watch my content, understand the strategy. Right now, what he's doing, he's actually posting feed videos under 1 minute, not even reels. When reels is having maximum feature, what he's doing, feed videos on Gary Vee TV account, and the same feed video, if that gets engagement on organic platform, he is converting that into reels and posting it on Gary Vee main account. I'm watching and closely understanding the strategy which he's playing. This is exactly what I did. So I didn't go to that particular thing, even though I had access to Gary Vee. I did a YouTube video as well, being excited that, hey, I'm going to meet Gary Vee, and then I'm not meeting him. So when you are asking this, that will you meet, you will definitely meet and all, I feel that even though if I don't meet before he dies or I die, I won't regret that moment. I'll never regret that moment. And if by God's grace I'm meeting, I always want this. I swear on my parents, when I meet Gary Vee, it should be based on my work, nothing else.
Absolutely. What are your ambitions when it comes to Jorr Parivar project?
I want to make this as the most valuable project of India, hands down.
And what are the goals when it comes to social impact?
The social impact thing, I would tell you with respect to my t-shirt thing as well. So you will be able to understand what I might do with Jorr Parivar project now in a decade. The t-shirts, I had manufactured 1,000 t-shirts. And out of that, because it was 100 customers and I had given 3-4 t-shirts to every customer. So close to 400 t-shirts were already sent out to customers. Now I was left with 500 to 550 t-shirts more, out of which I kept 50 for my own thing because I wanted to wear them. The remaining 500 t-shirts I gave away to one of the institutes where I'm already doing charity since past couple of years now. And they teach there is one slum area in our city, and they teach their kids, those kids, some education. So till this point in time, till this year, what I used to do is I used to pay kids education for the annum, 2-3 kids every single year. This time I called, the founder is my friend. So I just called her and I told her that, hey, I have 500 t-shirts in stock. I want to give it away to you and give it away to the kids for free. I don't want any name because I'm a guy who doesn't, I do charity over here, and I'll never let this hand know that I've done charity over here. So I don't speak much about this charity, that's my nature, but yeah, this is what I have done with respect to my t-shirts. And just imagine what I'll do with Jorr Parivar, because like I'm going to be doing so many things which people will recognize over a period of time. It's kind of 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, like, because I'm so sure that I'm going to make this happen with respect to social impact in so many different versions. because I have been successfully able to do with my personal brand Digital Pratik alone. Because I remember in 2011-12 when I took a drop and then I was trying to take some courses, I had lost my money. People used to just cut down my subscription because I didn't have money to pay for some courses. I've gone through all the phases and I understand the importance of money. And that is exactly what I have done over these years. The reason why I'm putting out so much of free content is because I know there are a lot of kids who don't have money. And I understand that point as well. A lot of professionals tell me that, hey, free education has no value. People don't value free stuff. And I'm like, okay, fine. That is 30% crowd. I know 70% of the crowd who is following me, who values that and who DMs me that, hey, Pratik, I have been consuming your content since past 2 years. And now I'm earning 1 lakh rupees in this job. So thank you, Pratik. And that means a lot to me versus 30% of the crowd who might not value my free content. So that's how I'm visualizing my social impact with respect to Jorr Parivar. And this is also one of the reasons why the term Jorr Parivar is, because I knew a lot of people told me that, hey, why are you keeping this name as Indian context, which is Jorr Parivar, which might not be understood by a lot of global people. And I'm like, okay, fine. Let global people come to me. What they will do? They will ask me, what is Jorr Parivar? And I'm ready to explain them. I'm ready to take that extra effort. I'm ready to lose money on the table in the first place, build trust so that they will give 10x times more money to my project.
Absolutely. And before we dig deeper into your personal path to success, I wanted to also talk about the similarities between what you're doing and the project that Gaurang is the social media manager, because the bread and butter of DoinGud is actually social impact. But then what's DoinGud has also in common with your current project is that it's aspires, well, soon it will be community driven only. Gaurang, is that so?
Yes, DoinGud. Yes, it's gonna be. It's majorly focused on very first thing. It's gonna be an NFT marketplace. Apart from that, in addition to that, it is also helping a lot of social impact organizations, right? And soon in the near future, DoinGud would turn into a decentralized autonomous organization, which would be eventually driven by the whole community itself, right? All the decisions would be making by the community, in terms of voting, sharing proposals, and also even in terms of public goods, right? And providing essential services to people, right, around the world, just like what Wikipedia does it, right? That's why we are creating a non-profit foundation following the footsteps of Ethereum, we can say, and other giants.
And I think on the way we can totally learn from Digital Pratik when it comes to the, getting more audience and so on. So I really love your idea about like creating a bait for the users to get more people into your project. But what else have you learned on the way of creating Jorr Parivar when it comes to dealing with NFT audience?
I would say the heavy thing which I've learned is smart contracts. I would summarize everything into smart contracts because the audience comes later. Like while I was building this, I would tell you, I made a mistake of minting 300 tokens.
Wow.
I made a mistake of minting 300 tokens. I lost that money in gas fee. And that's the reason why I'm telling you, I've invested $50,000. A lot of learnings have happened. So what I did was I thought that I only have to mint on OpenSea, and that's where everything would happen. I'm like, okay, voila. I didn't know anything about smart contract. After having 300 minted, I thought, let me actually buy it from another MetaMask account. That's where I tried to act like a customer. When I bought one of my own tokens, I went into Etherscan. I saw the entire transaction hash and I realized, okay, fine, there is no JPT token. My Jorr Parivar name is not coming anywhere. And why is it mentioned OpenSea shared collection? That's where I called Gaurang. Hey, Gaurang, something is wrong with my NFT project. I'm not able to see my Jorr Parivar thing. And he's like, okay, fine. This is to do something with the smart contract. Let's work upon that. It hardly took us 3 days to figure that out. We figured that out and we started working on smart contracts. That's where we understood solidity development is the thing which we have to understand now. We brought more people in the team. And that's where we started understanding smart contracts. We deployed that. I myself started learning that, okay, fine, we don't have to do it directly on OpenSea. We have to build a backend platform, if not platforms like Nameless Marketplace, all right? Because I didn't have any access. See, when people also tell that this is similar to VFriends, I would like to tell there was no NFT marketplace in India where I could host my project, just like VFriends did or Gary Vee did on Nameless. Because he was friends with Jimmy or NFT 42, he was able to do that. I was not. So I had to figure. Nobody in India knew all these things. And that's where we created a backend platform through which we minted. And again, it was a roller coaster ride, because Ania, when I am minting my own tokens, 1,254, I cannot sit in one day and do that. You know why? Because I'm minting. So I'm paying gas fee. I have to see when the gas fees are low, when it is high. So the learning, the biggest learning which I got why I'm minting 1,254 tokens and losing on 300 initial tokens is I knew that, okay, fine, I have to open up the Ethereum chart all the time and I have to fix particular number in my mind that, okay, fine, on an average, 1,254 tokens, I will mint on an average price of 0.008 Ethereum. And that's exactly what I did. At times I have minted it at 0.006. And whenever that was the price, I used to mint fast. I used to sleep for only 1.5 hours during that period of 1 week to 2 weeks, because it almost took me 15 to 20 days to mint the entire project, because there were days where the Ethereum peaked like crazy and it was like 0.1, 0.0, this, and I couldn't mint, you know. So still I had this budget. So that was one of the learnings. And that's where I realized that when I want to launch in India, Saturdays and Sundays, usually, now this is not fixed, it might vary depending upon when you are doing it on Sunday and Saturday as well. And moving further, it might change. But as of now, this is the learning. Saturday, Sunday in India in the morning time would be less on the gas fee. The reason being, on weekends, global people are sleeping, you know. So that's where I launched Jorr Parivar project on a Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. And that's exactly what happened. The gas fee was low. Still, I had pre-framed people with all the education in Discord server that this is the case, these are the materials, these are the live charts. So that was one of the biggest learnings, smart contracts, gas fees. Then I also understood that gas fee is not fixed. Gas fees are different when you mint a token, when you buy a token, when you transfer a token. You know, there are different levels of you paying gas fees. So it might not be the same when you are doing different transactions. The least gas fee is when you transfer a token from one MetaMask to another MetaMask. That's where you will pay the minimum amount of gas fee, and the maximum is when you actually mint a token. Even more, when you actually list a token on OpenSea for your selling purpose for the first ever time, you might just end up paying the one-time fee of collection, which is probably more, and that is close to $100-200 one-time fee. So a lot of learnings happened when I did this. Like initially I thought it is just OpenSea, then I realized it is smart contracts, so we need a backend platform and things like that. And now obviously we are looking for an NFT marketplace, which is what probably we are here.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. And I also wanted to ask you about your journey before, as when it comes to digital marketing. So obviously now you're living and breathing this project, but what's the project or maybe the achievement as a digital marketer that you're proud the most of?
The most proud thing which I am about right now in my entire past 11 years, wherein it is a combination of full-time job for 8 years. And then right now, since 2018, I'm full-time into my own business, which is Digital Pratik is. The biggest win is, do you know, Ania, what is my real name?
No, I don't.
Exactly. That's my win. People call me Digital Pratik. You know, that's the biggest win for me, that people call me Digital Pratik. On every banner, Digital Pratik is there. And that has happened because somewhere down the line, I've always brand positioned myself, and I've always done branding with respect to free content. That's the biggest, proudest moment. To give you one real example, I got this DM in 2019. Since then, there are a lot of incidences. But in 2019, one of the ladies, she messaged me in Instagram a picture of a bungalow where Pratik was written in Gujarati, a language in India. And she recalls Digital Pratik. And she messages me with the picture that, hey, when I saw this bungalow with your Pratik name, I remembered Digital Pratik. So that brand recall, which I have created in India with respect to my brand, with a lot of things, is probably the proudest moment which I have. I would be very honest, more than people calling me Indian Gary Vee. That's the proudest moment. It's the emotion. It's the emotion. That's the reason why probably I'm also calling Jorr Parivar is not just an NFT project. It's an emotional project which is hitting people. There are already stories right now. Like one of the token holders who is holding one of the tokens, which is Empathy Hathi. You know, there's this Empathy Hathi. If you see, there is this cute elephant, and that token is bought. I love that. Oh, I love that cute face, you know. So one of the token holders, the reason why he has bought this Empathy Hathi token is because he is having a 2-year-old son, and he gifted this token, NFT token, to a 2-year-old son. The only reason is because that 2-year-old son is only speaking Hathi Raja. So in Hindi, we call elephant Hathi and king Raja. So all he's saying is Hathi Raja, because he's fantasized. If you see kids watch television, kids watch cartoon shows, and they relate with those characters so much. When we were kids, we used to be like, okay, Mario, Contra. We relate with those characters so much in emotion that we actually want those toys. Why people buy keychains of Harry Potter, Pokemon? Because they are emotionally connected with that. So that's the reason why this dad, who is a token holder, is giving his son an NFT token. Why? Because he wants Hathi Raja to be with him forever. And this is like him holding an asset without he knowing that he's holding an NFT. So when he becomes elder, he becomes 20 years old, and he would be living in metaverse, and he would have an asset of Jorr Parivar straight away with an emotional connect. And right now, recently I got his message that his son, all right, his son is not eating food without watching Hathi Raja, which is Empathy Hathi in phone as an NFT token. That's the stories those stories are more than enough for me to actually, I'm literally getting goosebumps right now. These are more than enough for me, Ania, to say that I'm super duper proud with whatever I've done. And again, I'm saying this is just the beginning of the beginning of what I actually want to achieve, because I've just achieved 1% of the 100% pie, which I actually want to eat. And probably when I'll be in 2031, I would once again say that I've only achieved 1% of what I actually want to achieve in 100%. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm sure, Gaurang, because you are also in social media, and you also have got your own experience in marketing. What do you think is that, Digital Pratik could share with the people who are creating NFTs, which could be as something that's could improve the ability to promote their content?
Of course, it's always the way you explain the content. Majorly, it's all about how do you connect with your audience, right? And that's what Digital Pratik has been doing so well in terms of connecting to the audience by educating in a very simplest form, right? In terms of breaking down things as simple as it is, and that is something which is very impactful, right? And what I see that a lot of NFT creators, right, they need to start sharing their story, right, about what's the NFT all about. Like I see there are a lot of NFT creators, and it's sometimes like me as an NFT enthusiast as well. I do collect NFTs which has a backstory behind it, and again, it's for a long hodl, not for just buying or just swapping up to make an instant pay or instant money, right? So that is something which is there. Like backstory is something which is always important, when which people can connect or relate to, right? So that's how it's been. Like even with VFriends, it's been the same. Even with Jorr Parivar, it's the same. Even with few other projects, like I have been literally connected, and I've been like holding them, right? So stories are something which stories especially which can connect people, your audience actually, right? That is
And yeah,
something which
I
is
would I would
important.
add to
Yeah.
this story. I would add to this story part to Gaurang. I tell this to my audience a lot of times. Like storytelling is an art. Become the greatest artist of all time. That's
Yeah.
it. Storytelling is just an art, and this is like you
Alright.
providing contextual content all the time. When you provide contextual content, make sure you are emotionally connecting your audience, not just posting content. And that's why the context is so damn important. Every time when you share a piece of content, it should not be with an intention of likes, comments, views. It should be with an intention. And on that note, I swear on my parents again, I told Gaurang 24 hours, within 24 hours, past 24 hours, I told Gaurang that I'm so proud of doing good because they are literally doing good with their YouTube channel. You know, it's not at all an easy to post an hour content on YouTube, especially during these early days when you are not getting that much number of views. A lot of people, a lot of companies, a lot of brands I see in day-to-day basis, when they post an hour-long video, and if they don't get much views on the first episode, they might just think that, hey, this is not working, let's try something new. I'm like, what the fuck? You have not even posted like for an entire month, and now you're thinking that one piece of content is not connecting. No, it is connecting. People are so busy that they have not hit the tab button or the like button or the share button. They have consumed you. So the
Yeah.
consumption pattern is what more important when you're posting content. So probably this is what I always tell people, like this is the learning which if somebody wants to take, that it's all about consistency, it's all about authenticity, it's all about patience when you are posting contextual content. Because when you are playing for a volume, which I've closely learned from Gary Vee, like it's easy or not easy, I would rephrase, it's better to play with 100 balls juggling so that you win on 33 at least, versus you trying to juggle 33 and try to win on 33.
Yeah.
When we're on the subject of storytelling and consistency, we've got the little tradition here on this podcast that people tell, they something about themselves, something that nobody else knows about. It doesn't have to be a secret, but maybe something you haven't shared before, and it's something random or funny, some kind of spicy fact. So I'm going to share first. So the thing I haven't shared before is that I was bitten by a monkey actually when I was in Thailand. So as a baby, but that's not the funniest story. The funniest story is that I was born and brought up in Poland. So then my parents had to buy this fridge to transport their anti-rabies injections, and I had to go every week to the doctor. And then the doctor would ask me, no, the doctor would come out and said, "Who is here to be vaccinated against rabies?" And I said, "Me." And he would say, like, "What happened to you, little baby?" And I would say, "I was bitten by a monkey." And this time Poland was like shortly just came out from communism, and everybody thought I'm completely mad. And then they was like, "What? Have you been to the zoo?" So that's my little story. Digital Pratik. Now I'm waiting for your story. I will be something because we know about your long path to success.
I have so many stories.
Not the one that you drop out from the university.
Never,
Right?
never ever, never ever.
Okay.
I'll share this one from my college days itself before I took a
Yeah.
drop. It was early in the morning, somewhere around 4:15 a.m. All right. When I started getting a pain. So it's kind of a painful story, but a very funny story. So I started getting this pain, and it was because of kidney stone. Now, because I'm getting this pain early in the morning, my PG mates, my roommates, they're sleeping. It's 4:15 a.m. So what I thought was, because I was getting this pain over here, and I don't know if you relate with this kidney stone pain with your friends, or if you have got any point in time, I hope nobody gets it. But when I thought that it's early in the morning because I might have had some junk food. I might want to do some potty. So let me just go to washroom. Let me relax. Let me pass on the stool and I'll be okay. I'm trying that. Nothing is happening. No potty is coming out. And I'm like, the pain is increasing. And I'm eventually moving into this position all the time. If I go like this, I feel that pain so huge as if somebody is hitting with hammer. The pain was so not bearable. And I'm going like this. I tell you, 45 minutes of me doing like this and nothing is happening. I'm hammering my friend then. 5 o'clock in the morning. Hey, Tapan. So his name was Tapan. Tapan, please stand up. I'm having a severe pain. And what he thought was, I'm kidding. Early in the morning, I'm kidding. And I'm like, no, buddy, wake up. Take me to a hospital. I am literally in pain. And then he, along with another friend, they took me in hand because I cannot stand. I have to be like this. So they took me like this on a bike. And then it was like a half a kilometer hospital away. We went there. And what they told was, hey, nurse, what you do is pass on one painkiller over here and the another painkiller of beer over here, alcohol, so that he'll treat himself and he'll be okay. And they literally asked, are you sure which brand do you want? The nurses were so serious, they asked the brand itself. And I'm like, cut the crap, give me painkiller, man, I'm having pain. So that was kind of a funny story. Luckily, I was safe. Luckily, I was like out of the hospital like by 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I was recovered without any operation or so. But yeah, it was a 6 mm stone, which I got, because of which I have this funny story, like literally early in the morning, I'm trying to poop, but nothing is happening. I'm feeling, what kind of pain is this? I'm not able to understand anything. Yeah, that was an early morning story, which I had.
That's super. So yes, I'm very pleased nobody else is going to have this story only on Tokenverse.
I can give it to you in writing. I have never shared this one.
Fantastic. So this one we're going to sell it as NFT.
Yeah, this would be an NFT moment.
And we're going to give the income from it, like the profits from it, to the charity that you're going to choose.
100%, all to the charity. And I'll tell you, this was the time when it happened. This was the time when it was documented. 12:33. Oh, sorry, this is the camera. 12:33, 22nd September. In fact, this is a great date. 22nd. My entire project is built upon 22 characters.
Yeah.
Super. Gaurang, do you feel like sharing your story?
I don't have any, I guess. I'm probably not able to recollect.
So boring.
Because
you cannot beat this one.
Yeah.
I should have asked you first, because you know that when you ask Digital Pratik, sorry, I should have done it the other way around.
I'll tell you again, there's nothing funny, but nothing related to me, but the day, when Pratik came and said that, he minted now some odd tokens on OpenSea, and I was like laughing out loud. And then he realized that they were all centralized. And then I told him that, we need an exclusive smart contract for Jorr Parivar token. And then he was like, I saw his face. So it's gone so down.
So funny. I mean, that was literally funny. Yeah. Thanks a lot for sharing this, Gaurang. This was one of the learnings and funny learning. And it was deep to my heart that I lost my money. Like 300 tokens, I didn't realize that I have to learn about metadata. All the metadata on OpenSea was centralized. Like it was not frozen on Ethereum ERC 2721. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'm fucked up. And Gaurang is saying, okay, fine, we have to delete smart contracts and things. I'm like, okay, fine, we are into this, so we have to any which way swim now.
So the only thing I realized is, why didn't Pratik ask me before minting? I was just laughing. Like, he has asked me each and everything, but why didn't he ask before minting? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure lots of people are going to find your learning on this project, all the mistakes you've made, very valuable. Yeah.
100%.
I've got one more question. So, as a journalist, I forgot I did not introduce myself. So I'm a journalist and filmmaker. So I did usually when I, interview people, I make a little research on them. And in the past, I've been interviewing mostly film stars and celebrities, because that's what I concentrated on, reporting for Reuters and Getty Video. But now I mostly concentrate on technology. When I made a research on you, I've checked on your website that you call yourself a Romeo of digital marketing. So I wanted to ask you.
Yeah, I romance with my content. I all the time romance with my content, and my definition of romancing with the content is trying out new things. Like, people always ask me how to find passion. I'm like, okay, fine, taste 100 different things, which is what I did. I did call center jobs. I did Amway Herbalife network marketing jobs. I did full-time jobs as customer service head. I did full-time jobs as digital marketing trainer. I did full-time job as product manager of a company. I did full-time blogging for free. I opened up a free university. I tried it out as a YouTuber in 2013, since 2013, when I didn't have any phone, any mic kind of thing, only a sample phone where the quality was not good. So if you go to my 2013-14 video, you will see that still I was trying to romance with my content. And now when I have a fully fledged studio setup, I'm still the same.
That's the relationship now, right? It's not romancing anymore.
Exactly. My business is my content. It's like and it's a funny story. In my family, a lot of members, my cousins, they call me that this is my silver. So in Hindi, we have this funny term for wife, which is bairi, which is a Gujarati term. So they call this as silver bairi, like kind of a second wife to my actual wife, which is yet not there. I'm single. I'm not married. But let's suppose if I'm married, then this particular one is kind of a second wife, and my actual wife is jealous of this particular wife. So that's where like I romance with my phone and my laptop so much because I'm constantly with them, you know. So that's the reason why it is like the Romeo of building a personal brand using content machines.
Well, you have to find a very understanding woman. Digital Pratik.
Let's keep that as a secret.
That's a secret.
Yeah.
Well, Digital, it's been a pleasure. You've so much, amazing stuff that we covered. I'm really pleased that you found time to join us.
It's my pleasure to be over here inside Doing Good, because you guys are really doing good, you know. And on that very note, when I heard that you are already coming from a background where you have interviewed people and all, my question for you, Ania. Okay. How would you rate on the, and this is very, very, very selfish, with very selfish interest, I'm asking this question. How would you rate this particular entire interview based on the conversation which you have with me on the scale of 0 to, let's say, 22, because I have 22 characters. So on the scale of 0 to 22, which people don't even do, people do it 0 to 10, 0 to 100. Let's call it 0 to 22, where 22 is awesome, amazingly super duper super wala awesome. How would you rate this entire conversation? It's for my selfish interest.
It's square of 22, Digital Pratik, because
hold on, let me do this.
Obviously, because you've got your own style. You've done it so many times. You've got your own podcast, and you've got your own personality. So for me, interviewing people like you is just a pure pleasure, because it's just actually I can just lay back and you just like do the job for me.
Thank you so much. Means a lot. Thank you so much.
No, absolutely. And I would like to thank Gaurang for introducing you to us.
Anytime. Yeah.
Gaurang is doing amazing job in his life. I've been seeing Gaurang since past almost like 3 years now, and he's doing fantastic job.
That's why he joined DoinGud.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, and I hope to reconnect soon, and we'll be following Jorr Parivar project for sure.
Thank you so much. Means a lot, Ania, and looking forward to connect with more healthy conversations, and looking forward to bring value to Doing Good community in any shape or form. Always
fantastic.
Forward.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gaurang.
Thank you. Thank you. Ciao.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Bye.